Today we're going to make a trifold card. So we're going to start with a sheet of paper that's 5.5 by 12. And we're going to score it at 2 inches, 4 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. Alright, so we've got our 4 score lines in. Now we're going to take and replace the scoring blade with a cutting blade. And placing it in the cutter, we're going to measure 1.5 inches, and then we're going to move our blade to 10 inches and cut to 2, following the guide on our cutter, and then flipping it around. We're going to place it again at the 1.5 inch mark and bring our cutter down to the 10 inch mark on the scale and cut to 2. Okay. And this is how we're going to fold it. I'm going to okay, so it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. So fold these as 8 inches mountains and the 10 inches valleys. Okay, so 2 inches is a mountain, 4 inches is valley, 8 inches is a mountain, and 10 inches is a valley on the top and the bottom part of the card. Then the interior, you skip the 2 inches, mountain at 4, valley at 8, skip the 10 inch. And that will give you the proper folds on your trifold. And then I go in with the blown folder and make sure everything's tight. Okay. Alright. So now we have our card folded. Now we're going to take our designer paper and decorate it. So these are the cuts for the designer paper. You have 2 at 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. You have 4 at 1 1/4 and by 1 3/4. You have 2 at 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. There's one at 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and then 2 at 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So those are the different cuts. Also, I've seen it done where you have the 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 paper, and then going this way is another sheet of paper with a sentiment or stamp on it. So there's a couple of different options, and that measurement would be the 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. So anyhow, now we're ready to decorate. So I thought I would show you how I made the decorations here on the card. First I punched out, using this little thumb punch, a 5-petal flower. Then I've had this for a long time. I don't even know if the company's still in business or not, but it's called a chatterbox. It's a rolling ball stylus. Shoot, can't figure out which way to go here. Alright, so one end is small, the other end is larger. And what I do is I use the small end, and just on each flower I press down. I've got a really thick, it's like a 1/4 inch mouse pad, and so I just press down on the end of each flower and roll that ball over the end of each petal. And then go to the center and just kind of roll it. Okay, so here's with the light pink. So again, just roll on each petal. And then again in the middle. And then with the center of the flower, I just punch out with a regular hole punch, a circle. And again, using the roller, just put a divot, I guess you'd call it, into the flower. Then using the really small glue dots, I forget what size it is, but attach a glue dot to the flower. And my problem is getting the glue dot to release from the paper. And then, you know, it's got a 5-petal flower, so you just rotate it a half of petal so that the darker pink will show up in between. And of course, since I'm filming, I can't do it. Okay, and then again using glue dot, stick that into the center of the flower, and you would use a glue dot to attach it to the finished card. And then I go back with the roller into the center and press down so that I'm sure that I'm going to have that cup on my flower. And what I did was I just drew a branch and placed 5 of them on there. And so this is my mom's birthday card for this year. I think what I might do is take some glue and some glitter and glitter up the mom a little bit. And I think this is a pretty good birthday card. And she doesn't have a computer, so don't worry, she's not seeing this early.